my God. Hey, today's episode is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Okay. I believe. You know what? I believe you.
You better.
It is brought to you by AutoZone.
Because if not, I'm going to yell even louder.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Cooligans.
World Cup daily,
Boom.
mostly daily. We took the weekend off.
It's the Cooligans, buddy.
That's right.
That's right. Come on. We still here.
And not only that, it's the World Cup daily, but you might see a couple different things in the
What,
studio.
you mean this?
Well,
This right here?
there it is. Yeah, now we see it. We did a little bit of a
Did we upgrade?
we did an upgrade. You know what I want to call it? I want to call it a World Cup grade.
Is there a boo button? Do not give yourself an applause for a pun. We gotta move this board away from this guy, bro.
I think that was quite fitting.
Ugh.
The World Cup grade. You love it. I love it.
Bro, I might do what the Juventus board just did and peace out before the feds get here. Can you get arrested for a bad pun? Because if so, you're going to be in handcuffs, bro.
Hey, okay. Make sure it's the furry ones.
Yeah, push me up against the cruiser, officer.
Okay. Yeah, you could be a little rough. I don't mind.
Wow. Everything's changed, dude. We moved the table a little bit over. We get 2 more cameras, and Christian goes ballistic.
What's good? Well, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerrero. Don't we
And-
have like names at the bottom?
No, we don't. But we also have a producer in-house.
Give it up for Harry, everybody.
Harry's back there. I don't know if you can hear him. Say hello, Harry.
I don't know if you can hear that.
Don't know if you can hear it, but he did say hello to us. We're not speaking to a ghost.
Yeah. I also like how he said, "What's up, Cooligans?" as if he doesn't know our first names.
Now we're on a Cooligan
Yeah.
name basis.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
I told you what to call me, Harry. It's King Alexis Guerrero.
So look, we're back after a couple days off.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, we've been doing
I
shit.
rested the knee. Did it help? No. And actually now it bends more, but I still can't go up or downstairs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, that's not that much of an improvement then, right?
It bends. One step at a time, bro.
Look, I mean,
I made more improvements than Canada did.
look, it's Alexis's knee, Neymar's ankle.
Bro, we all got sports-related injuries, except one of us was actually doing something. I wonder if he hurt his ankle while sleeping on a shitty couch he got from Wayfair.com.
That's very likely, right? So a lot of
By
games.
the way, I bought one of these couches for my house.
You bought the same couch?
Exact same couch.
Why?
Because it's comfortable.
I mean, there's better couches. It's a decent couch.
Oh, this is a great couch. What are you talking about, decent couch? Have some respect. They can hear you.
It's a decent. I'm just saying. You think you're gonna have the same knee problem.
No, you've not been. This is the couch I'm on now. That's way better.
So
Also, we got like new new lights. It's incredible.
we're doing great. So we're very
Look at
excited.
this thing. We got a goddamn fridge.
Alexis is very proud of the fridge.
We got
okay.
a fridge, bro.
Okay.
Glass front.
Just the fun. He's just like you're showing a first date. Your
Huh?
your college dorm room.
Yeah. Look at this. I got the thicker air mattress.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right.
Who was it? There was a comedian, a female comic, who said she dated a comic. She wouldn't say who it was, but he slept on an air mattress and had a booger wall.
Yeah. Wow.
A wall where he showed it to her.
I know what a booger wall is.
Showed it to her with
please
pride.
explain to the audience who may not know what a booger wall is.
If you don't know what a booger wall is, congratulations on not using a shitty app, I guess, to date. But he was proud of it. He's like, oh, that's where I put my boogers.
Okay.
Comedians, folks. These are your kings. These are the people you follow.
So, this is it's not a booger show. It is a soccer show. So we have to make sure. Obviously, the World Cup is going on, and so this weekend there were a bunch of matches. But let's work backwards, right?
Yeah, baby,
So
let's talk about today because today
today's
was
Monday,
full of excitement.
November 28th. We just finished watching Portugal take on Uruguay. They won 2-0. Ronaldo tried to claim a goal that did not belong to him.
Wow.
Okay.
Is that what you read in your self-improvement books? Cristiano.
Not surprising, but Portugal did win 2-0. So this pretty much puts the next match between Uruguay and Ghana, a rematch of the block heard around the world from Luis Suarez.
Which people still claim he was cheating. I don't see it as cheating.
Ghanaians are saying that he's a cheat. I mean, and look,
There's a lot of things you could say about
he's a
It's
cheat. He's a biter.
He's a biter.
Okay, not just styles, bro.
No. Yeah, man. Every time he sees you wearing something, he goes out and gets it. He likes to bite.
So but the game is going to be Uruguay against Ghana. So that's going to be a very emotionally tense match. Not only because of the history, and I think Ghana wants revenge, but the winner of that match probably goes on into the knockout round.
Ghana looked pretty good, but it is the winner of that match will go on. Because right now Uruguay is sitting on 1 point, Ghana sitting on 3. So if Ghana loses that match and Uruguay wins, they jump to 4.
Right, but if South Korea wins, they're playing Portugal. With that, it would then goal differential.
Portugal's in.
Portugal's in, but
Well, that's not.
Portugal's in.
Ghana wins and South Korea. Yeah, Portugal's in.
Yes.
Portugal's in.
Okay.
Okay. Uruguay needs to beat Ghana and have South Korea either lose by an extra goal, just in case, because right now South Korea has a -1 goal differential. Uruguay has a -2.
Right.
Or -2.
Right.
So
But if South Korea loses, that they're out.
My wife is calling. I'm doing the show. I'm in the middle of the show. I'm in the middle of the show, baby girl. I gotta go. Bye. I love you. Hope you feel better.
Okay. So group H. This is group H.
Yes.
It's obviously there's that last match day is gonna actually be a lot more, I think, than a lot of people expected. But that Uruguay Ghana match is both matches are gonna be going on at the same time. But that's the one I want to see, and I want to see as soon as Luis Suarez gets in that game, how is he going to be treated?
Yes. Also, will Portugal field a B squad?
Which they probably should.
They probably should.
Yeah, because
but do you maybe want most of your A besides maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, who's obviously a little bit older? Do you want them to remain sharp?
Great question. I don't care about Portugal and what whether they succeed or not.
Well, doesn't that affect South Korea?
It does. It does. Yeah. So that's why
Which is why I'm bringing it up.
South Korea has clearly a chance to win, but I mean, even a Portugal B squad should draw South Korea at the very least.
Should beat South Korea.
Should beat South Korea. I mean, they're not terrible. I mean, the game.
They didn't look great. They have moments where they look good, but they didn't look great.
Well, they gave up 3 goals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that game was amazing. I loved the back and forth in that game. And once Ghana they were up 2-0, and I'm like, all right, well, then this is the South Korea that we sort of expect. And but when they came back, they got those 2 crosses. I forgot who scored the
Sung Cho, Gu
yeah.
Sung Cho.
Yeah, who is now becoming a sensation.
Yeah. Well, okay, so they even said this on the thing in South Korea. Sun, Him-Ming Sun is they pronounce it the correct way. I don't know. At first I was like, who are they talking about? It's like Him-Ming Son or something like that.
Yeah.
I forgot. Whoever the announcer is has like the phonetic way of pronouncing it. And it's like, cool, but you're throwing the rest of us off. All right. But he plays for Jumbuk, which is your friend's.
The Korean club. Yeah.
Your friend's favorite. So you expect that he's probably not that good if he's playing in the Korean league. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Comparably. But he scored 2 in a row. So you're doing all right.
In the World Cup, you're definitely getting, attracting the right attention.
Well, they said Sun is an A-list celebrity.
Yeah.
In South Korea. That's huge.
Sure.
A-list is pretty big. I don't think any footballer in England is A-list. Not since.
Why would you determine as A-list?
I mean, A-list is like the top of that. There's no list above that. That's the top list.
But
that's
who's
Kardashian.
Okay, all right. Kardashian is
level.
A-list. Got it. All right.
You know what I mean?
But Sun is A-list in South Korea.
He's there, Kim Kardashian.
He's there.
That's what we've decided.
I want to see.
Show the cheeks, dude. Let's see it.
I want to see Sun in Skims.
Come on, yo. What's that BBL like, son? Put the mask on too. But there's whatchamacallit. There's no English footballer in England that's A-list in England.
You really don't think that?
Who's A-list? Name somebody that would be A-list.
But okay. So, but
Wayne
what
Rooney ain't A-list.
what incorporates being an A-list celebrity?
It's like art and porn. I can't explain it to you, but you know when you see it, dude. A-list is the top of the top.
They can't go out to like just a casual restaurant and not be
because
bothered.
there's football fans, but that's beyond. A-list is beyond football.
I guess
everyone knows
David
you.
Beckham.
That's the name I said. There's no current footballer that is A-list. That's huge.
in England, specifically England, bro.
You're gonna give me a heart attack, dude.
I don't know.
Not for the Harry, Christian. At least someone is here to see that I'm not a maniac,
I
bro.
mean, Harry Kane was on Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, nobody know. He was on Kimmel.
No.
He was on Kimmel.
Kimmel, yeah.
He was on a New York one as well. I think it was.
I think he was on
Colbert.
Fallon.
I think he was on Colbert.
All right, I don't know,
But
bro.
also, no one cares about Harry Kane at that level, bro. He's famous, but he's not A-list. A-list is your top tier celebrity.
Yes, son is that. Got it.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a big deal. There's no other. I can't think of any other footballer.
The reason, the guy,
you're not gonna talk about this with me?
The guy who scored the 2 goals
Right.
at the beginning of the World Cup had something like 4,000 followers on Instagram, and he went to like 1 million.
Yeah.
Or like 40,000. But that's a pretty.
What a jump!
I'm just saying, that's unbelievable. But to go to 1 million,
Bro, I have an idea for Cooligans. One of us needs to score for South Korea. Hear me out.
Okay, we got.
Now, I've got some Chinese heritage. I know it's not the same, but maybe there's a way where I can explain if you mix Chinese and Cuban.
Yeah.
Maybe that qualifies for South Korea. Also, it's South China. South Korea, South China.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe I can finesse.
Sure. It'll be like catch me if you can. Just falsify some paperwork, and I'm sure you can make it work.
So my name is My Guy, son.
So the fact that that South Korea got into this game and they did tie it up.
The fact that they turned it on. The fact that we got to see not just an A-list celebrity with a mask, but to see them actually play well beyond just the midfield was actually impressive.
And at the end of the game, they added 10 minutes of stoppage time. The
stoppage time is insane. I hate it.
They were it's becoming a little problematic. Yeah, but the coach I'm forgetting his name. The coach for South Korea, who is what's his name? He got a red card. It was listed here. Paulo Bento. Paulo Bento got a red card at the end because he seemed to be upset that the stoppage time wasn't very clear. He wanted. I think it was a corner.
Wasn't this also where they cut it? Didn't they blow the whistle before the end of it?
But they blew the whistle before the corner could be taken on the offensive play, and he was just like very, very upset about that. But it's starting to feel like this. So the stoppage time in itself does add this like this game is just never gonna end, right? Like
it's a bit much.
You're asking. They've already been on the field for 90 minutes. We know that. They've been there. Maybe they haven't been running at top speed.
Right.
But by the end of a football match, you're pretty gassed. And then you'll be like, you know what? We need about 20 more minutes of this, guys.
Hey, man, I know it's direct summer, and most of you don't play in this weather. And we have a shoddy air conditioning system we've invented for this. But how about you run for an extra 25 minutes?
Dude.
It's a lot, dude. Also, most fans are like, 10 minutes is too much. Like Fergie time was the last time I remember there being this much time. And this is too much where anything can happen.
Yeah.
9 minutes, when I see that at the least in a lot of matches, it's 9 minutes is like the minimum.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it should be 3.
Yeah, I mean,
6 is a
9
lot. 6
minutes.
is
Like someone died
Yeah.
in the middle of the game, and they had to pause for
Actually,
9
I
minutes.
think that actually happened in the game, and I don't think it was 9 minutes.
Right. It's not reason enough to stop a game for that long. But
I remember Fabrice Muamba.
Yes.
When he had the heart, I don't know if it's a heart attack. Something happened with his heart where he
his
needed
heart
to be
failed.
revived.
Yeah.
He heart failure. And I think even in that moment, I don't think there was 15, 20 minutes that was added on. I think even that moment, it was like 12 minutes, and people were like, "Whoa, something bad must have happened." Now 17 minutes, what happened? 2 free kicks. You know? Oh, okay. They didn't bring out the ambulance.
Pretty wild, man. So it was. I did enjoy that game quite a bit. This morning was the last 5 a.m. match.
What a way to go out, though. What a match. I wish I would have not dozed off during most of it.
I dozed off during. I watched the full Cameroon-Serbia game, that was the 5 a.m. game, but I did doze off at the South Korea Ghana game, and I missed the two.
Don't. Well, now we're definitely not going to be goddamn A-list.
No,
though.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I missed I dozed off in the Cameroon Serbia game, and I missed the two goals.
Same.
The
Choupo-Motings and Abubakar.
yeah, I missed those. I was like, how
Abubakar came in and scored 6 minutes later. It was crazy.
they were down 3-1, and I was like, all right, well then Cameroon's done.
I believe they scored first. They did. They scored first.
Yeah.
And then Pavlovic scored at the end of the half. And then Milinkovic-Savic scored again at the end of the half. 45 plus 1, 45 plus 3.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you went from being up 1 to when the 45. So stoppage time, you go down 2-1. Imagine that. They blow you see the guy holds up, the fourth official holds it up. You're like, oh, is that 4 minutes? Oh, we'll be all right. Next thing you know, you're down a goal. You're up a goal. Now you're down a goal. You go in, you come back out, and then you score 2 more, essentially. No, it was Mitrovic scores again. Scores in the 53rd minute. So now you're down 3-1. And then Ghana was like, oh, that's right. We should probably play.
Right.
And then
they turned it on.
Choupo-Moting scored the third goal. So it ended up being 3-3.
You mean Cameroon, not Ghana.
Sorry, my bad. Cameroon.
Yeah. That game, Serbia probably should have. They probably had a couple more goals in them.
Right.
But Mitrovic there were like about 2 chances that he was like, I want to get a goal right now.
Yeah,
I don't want to pass the ball. And it's like everybody's open around him.
This is Mitrovic, though.
but he can do that. I mean, he did end up scoring.
Yeah.
But there were those maybe 2 selfish moments that this game easily could have been 5-3. So it felt. I think Serbia probably feels a little bit hard done by that result, without a doubt.
Serbia was a lot of people's dark horse in this tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you're seeing flashes of they possibly could be good
Yeah.
enough, but they are missing a few pieces.
The group is what group G?
Yeah, they're in last place with 1 point, which is a shame because they could have easily had 3 and been in the driver's seat.
To get 3 goals in a game and only get 1 point kind of sucks. So I mean,
Cameroon's like, no, I know, because they also got 3 goals.
So
at 1 point.
So it looks like Brazil and Switzerland are most likely gonna leave that group, even though Brazil did win against Switzerland today. But
Switzerland doesn't look easy to beat.
Which is why I think they will leave the
Even
group.
Brazil had needed a real moment of brilliance from Casemiro and a deflection really to get out of that.
Okay, what was the other game?
The other game we didn't talk about is Portugal-Uruguay.
Portugal-Uruguay. Yeah. Well, we just watched that, and I mean, not a shocking result.
Uruguay is. You could tell they're at the end of their golden era and they don't know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, look, Cavani, our legend Suarez there,
right?
But
they're just staying together for the kids. That's what it feels like. You know what I mean?
They are. You just the way Kevin De Bruyne was like when they asked him the question, "Who do you think is gonna win? Can Belgium win the World Cup?" He's like, "No, we're too old." Uruguay should be saying this loudly and proudly.
Me, as I'm massaging my knee, me and all of Uruguay should be like, yeah, damn right.
They have a couple ballers.
Can we talk about Kevin De Bruyne?
We can,
bro.
Why say this?
Inside voice, De Bruyne.
Even everybody, like even on the broadcast, when they're talking about this moment, I think Carly Lloyd was talking about it. She was like, you don't say this, you know? And Carly Lloyd says some wild stuff.
Carly Lloyd's like, bro, I said some sketchy things that have come back to bite me in the ass, and even I know you don't do that.
But it is like a thing of like, even if, like, you don't tell the kids Santa isn't real.
Right.
You just, like, there's nothing
if
good.
If your kid's like, I want this robot for Christmas, you don't be like, we ain't getting you that shit. You got to be like, maybe Santa will drop you. You know what I mean?
You gotta go along with it until you get to the age where you realize everything I've been told is a lie.
Do we have to do that, though?
Do we have to do what?
Are you going to tell your kid there's a Santa?
I don't know. I don't really care, but I think...
You know your girl. Well, your girl, she doesn't celebrate Christmas.
No,
right?
she does not.
So she would definitely
the other day, her family was like, when's Christmas again? And I'm like, y'all don't really celebrate.
Y'all are wild Jewish right now, bro.
I mean, like, you should know, right?
Yeah, don't you get days off, dude?
I got to learn the Jewish holidays. Like, learn our stuff, too.
Bro, because of alternate side parking, I know Jewish holidays, I know Muslim holidays, I know all of it, bro. I know when Labor Day and Arbor Day is, bro. How you not know when Christmas is?
It's crazy. I'm like, why? It's just like...
You become Fox News. You're like, they're taking Christmas away.
Like, we need to be watching Sean Hannity right now.
I know. Because of Happy Holidays? Is this what you don't know?
So
The tree at Rockefeller Center, bro.
So I don't know. I grew up, obviously I was told about Santa, but I remember the day I realized, like, this is nothing means anything.
Would you?
Do they even love me?
How old were you? 20 when you found out? How old were you when you found out?
I was probably like 12, maybe 11, 12. It's a very young age. I know. It's a very young age.
Seriously?
I think so. Maybe.
You believed until that point?
What are you? What grade are you in at 11 and 12?
Seventh, 8th grade?
No.
8th grade is what? 12, 13? Yeah, because you're 14.
Yeah. So maybe like 10. Probably like 10. Yeah, I went on
6th grade. So a year after school dances. you found out.
That's about it.
That's wild to me. You didn't have friends that were assholes? I found out when I was 6 years old.
Wow, that's very young.
Yeah, of course it is. Actually, I think I found out at 5. I think I found out in kindergarten. I remember.
That's almost too young.
My sister said something about Santa Claus, like jokingly.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was like, "These idiots believe in Santa Claus. Fucking idiots."
And
I was like, totally. And then cried.
You cried and you were like, I got to get a job at a factory.
I'm like, yo, there's no dad, no Santa. Is there anyone? Is anything real, dude?
Okay. Look, I went on with the fantasy a little longer. That's all.
That's kind of crazy. 10 years old is pretty wild. Let us know. Let us know when you found out about Santa, bro.
So, but Kevin De Bruyne definitely doesn't believe in Santa. We know that.
No, he believes straight up. He'd be like, "What? Yo, you're too old to believe in this."
But look, after the first game against Canada, he was very boldly honest and very realistic about.
Too honest
about it.
Too realistic.
Yeah, because when you.
I know you and I hate like coach speak, but bro, you gotta have a little medium, a little big. You can't go fucking crazy.
Yeah, you have to, because there's no way it doesn't.
You can't be like, I'm not having kids. My dick too small. Oh no.
Okay, all right. We didn't need to get in your bedroom.
Have you heard about small talk, De Bruyne?
Not literally.
Yeah.
But the morale thing, it has to affect the morale of the team. When you're
Vertonghen said like, we ain't too old for this or whatever.
Yeah, now they're like making snide remarks in the media to each other.
Yeah.
So
I think even Kevin De Bruyne is frustrated with. I tweeted this and it got a little. I didn't put this on the Cooligans account because I thought you'd be upset. But I said Belgium basically a Ponzi scheme.
Did you say Santa wasn't real on Twitter? I would have.
What you call it? I said Belgium basically been a Ponzi scheme for the last 10 years. We've been lied to that they're good for 10 years. And I'm going to say something else. Absolute legend. And I love him. And you are a hero of mine. And I think you are the king. And I'm upset that Giroud may beat your goal scoring record for France. And I absolutely adore you and love you, but do not ever coach again. Thierry Henry, you ain't good at it, dude.
I mean, he's not the main. He's an assistant.
But you ain't even help. You didn't help. You didn't help at where was he? Montreal. Bro, you didn't do shit there, bro. The guy after you's doing better than you, bro.
He coached them in Champions League.
How'd they do?
They lost in Champions League, but it was there. He did an all right job. He was leading against.
Who else? He coached another club. What other club did he coach?
He coached in France.
Not Nice. Was it Nice? Feels like it was Nice.
It feels like it was Nice, but I could be wrong.
You didn't have a Nice time.
This is Harry. This is where Harry comes in. Where did Thierry Henry coach?
Yeah, hey, well, that's right. We have Harry. Hey, you know what? We could just stop saying things we don't know with confidence. Now Harry's here.
Okay, so you're not happy with Thierry Henry?
No, it's not that I'm not happy. I think it's obvious, dude. You're done, dude. You can't get another chance.
Hold
on.
Get
your licenses, dude.
This
isn't good. You're ruining your legacy.
How are you putting more blame on the assistant coach Thierry Henry than the manager of the Belgian national team, which is Roberto Martinez?
We all know. There's no question Roberto Martinez is bad at what he does. But did you know what Thierry Henry's role is?
No.
He's the forwards coach. Now tell me. You think he's doing a good job?
I mean, what are the options? Who's on the roster? What are the forwards that are available? Michy Batshuayi, Romelu Lukaku, who's not 100%.
How has Batshuayi looked?
Is Dries Mertens a forward or
no,
winger?
But he probably gets it.
Yeah.
How would you rate Batshuayi's job so far?
He scored.
I know he scored,
He scored 1 goal.
but how's he looked around that?
I mean, he's looked how he's always looked forever.
Belgium, you dusty, bro. Kevin De Bruyne is right. I know he's just like, just let me go back to Manchester, bro.
It's
This
just-
sucks.
It's just they don't have a strong squad, especially not this time.
And they are old.
But the fact that they're still the #1 ranked FIFA team is like it just makes
It's a
no
lie.
sense.
It's a Ponzi
It's like
scheme, bro.
nobody. Are you watching the things we're watching?
Yo, it's a Ponzi scheme.
And when De Bruyne says like, "Oh, we're too old," it's like it doesn't mean the players are ready to retire, but when you're
That means they don't have another crop of youngsters that are ready to take that mantle, that are ready to add value.
yeah, because a lot of the players from 2018 are the ones that are here. And
Did we find out where he coached?
Monaco?
Monaco.
That's where
Where
yeah.
he was a player before Juventus. And we will talk about Juventus in a minute.
So, but yeah,
But dude, Henri, take a break. Go back to punditry. You're really good at it. You're like really good.
I mean, clearly he wants to coach. I mean, I don't know how long. After this,
Buddy, I want
Belgium-
to model underwear. You know what I mean? There's just some things we're not built to do. you know?
Belgium is look, they lost to Morocco 2-0, and there's no way.
That's an embarrassment.
yeah.
And shouts to Morocco.
I mean, look, they could get out of the group. It's not impossible, but it's just not. I can't see them. If they do get to the knockout round, they should be out in that first round. They look poor. So that's what I'm saying.
They certainly won't play against the U.S. the way they did in 2010.
These short.
Or was that 2014?
2014. These short windows in between matches, it feels like this is where it hurts Belgium.
Also, Eden Hazard being 65 years old.
Well, I mean, he's not that old. He's,
Oh, sorry, 63. I don't want to
but that's the thing.
I was rounding
and
up.
I'm pointing that out. Like the players, when they say they're too old, when he says it's quote unquote too old, they're probably like 28, 29, 30. When you can't be, and with these long ass stoppage time.
How old is De Bruyne?
De Bruyne is 20. He has to be 29 or 30, maybe 31, something like that. But he's definitely. You can tell he's getting the misplaced passes. Kevin De Bruyne does not misplace passes.
And this is why I think it's not him. He's passing in the right spot. It's these old dudes running.
No, he's making mistakes.
How do you know? You don't know.
That I'm okay. Yeah, I'm not watching the games and watching him make a couple of mistakes. He's not making a ton of mistakes, but he's making mistakes he doesn't make with Manchester City.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe those players aren't going into the right spot.
Of course, they have to accept some accountability
It's like,
and
yes, if
responsibility.
you throw an interception, it looks bad on you, but maybe the receiver was supposed to be there.
How do you know?
That's what I'm saying. How does anybody know? Great question, Christian.
Because you can see the frustration in Kevin De Bruyne when he misplaces a pass, that he doesn't get that frustrated when he's playing with Manchester City. He's like, oh, you know what?
We'll get him next time.
We'll get him next time because we have 98% possession, so we'll be okay.
Oh, look, I have the ball again. Wow,
But
that's crazy.
he has to defend more. He has to just run a lot more. And he's next to Axel Witsel, who's not the fastest dude. He's just like, he's not Rodri. He doesn't provide that level of security for that back line that the players of Manchester City do. So Kevin De Bruyne has to do a little bit more. And then by the end of the game, he's gassed and he's not as accurate with the things that he's very, very good at. So Belgium.
Is Kevin De Bruyne only as great as we think he is because he's on Manchester City?
I think that's safe to say, but I would say that about almost any player.
You do think that?
Yeah, because he wasn't doing that at Chelsea. He wasn't doing that at Wolfsburg. Well, he was pretty good at Wolfsburg.
He was great at Wolfsburg. He had a bad stint at Chelsea. Who doesn't have a bad stint?
Yeah. That's. I mean, the Pulisic, we're seeing it now.
And who's the
Mohamed
other homie?
Salah.
No, who's the Mohamed Salah? But who's the other dude that just won the Budweiser Player of the Game?
Hakim Ziyech.
Ziyech.
Yeah.
Not barely getting even time at Chelsea. Doesn't look great at Chelsea. Boom.
But
Player of the game.
Woke up, just
Yeah.
it's all good. Yeah.
He turns it up for this slow competition.
So Belgium is how many points? They have 3 points. What group are they in? Group F. Can they look? They can't get out of the group. I mean, it's possible. What sucks here is for Canada. Canada loses to Croatia.
I have a question. It's only one answer, one or the other. Is Canada good?
Is Canada good? Wow.
This is
Damn, bro. I didn't think you were just going to throw a curveball at me.
Bro. Are they good?
They are.
I didn't ask you, are they
easy
fun?
answer-
Hold on. I didn't ask you, are they fun? I didn't ask you, are they exhilarating? I didn't ask you, are they playing as a team? I didn't ask you, are they well coached? Are they good?
They are. I would say yes. They are good because we saw them play very well against Belgium.
And what do they have to show for it?
They have nothing.
0
They-
points, a -4 goal differential, 2 losses, no draws, no win. If I just showed you that, what would your answer be to are they good?
If I'm looking at that, but I've watched both games.
I'm not asking you that. I said if I just showed you that, what would you say?
Who cares? Why you know what the answer would be?
So
that
there you
they
go. So
that they're not good.
Say it and give me the credit.
But
So they're not. I'm starting to think that they're fun and they're exhilarating, like I said before, but they're not good.
the look, the missed a couple mistakes, right? We spoke about it a couple of days ago. John Herdman, the coach of Canada, talking shit after
Yeah.
the game against Belgium. He didn't have to say we're gonna F Croatia, but he decided to
He
say
must
it.
have saw De Bruyne and been like, I could do that, bro. I can fucking go crazy.
He said that. We saw it made Croatian news. It was a big deal. And then Kramaric after the game, his quote was, it wasn't Croatia that got effed. You know, right? So yeah, you gave bulletin board material to Canada, and then they have a great start, right? They scored 70 seconds into the game. Alphonso Davies scoring the first
Canada
Canadian
goal, yeah.
Canada goal for the men in the World Cup. Huge moment,
Yeah.
but everybody was saying this, but it did feel like, yo, did they score too early?
Yes.
And yeah,
Also, did they act like, oh, we got this in the bag? It felt like that for the next 20 minutes
yeah,
where they were kind of all over the place. Look, they've got some really good pieces. They've got some really good players. I like the way they're coached. I think they can go far as a nation in the next few competitions. And what I like about this is that the feeling I get is that just scoring that goal, and hopefully they win in this last match, even though they've been eliminated. Hopefully they score because it gives the youth of that country something to attach themselves to, similar to the way people in America cared after 1990.
Right.
Even though they looked bad, it was like, well, we got in, and look, I saw someone score a goal, and we look good. You know what I mean? Like, you have something to attach yourself to, and like, oh, maybe the next crowd will be even better. And I think that that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to start to see Canadian soccer develop very quickly. So I think this is an important moment. It's a watershed moment for Canadian soccer. I'm glad it happened. But the way people felt, Tato Martino said that he thought Canada played the best of all the nations in those first games.
yeah.
Did he not watch Spain? Thought that. What happened? You fell asleep, buddy? You didn't want to wake up?
I mean, I know he ain't watching Mexico.
Buddy, if you're saying another team's playing the best, that's saying a lot about you as a coach. You know what Mexico needs? Thierry Henry. Now, I take back everything I said before. Have you thought about this?
His Spanish is pretty good.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard it? Okay, so as far as look, if Canada had 11 Alphonso Davies, I think they'd be incredible. But the decision to start Atiba Hutchinson, who is I believe 39 or 40 years old, and ask him to play another.
Was he also not the captain?
I don't remember.
I believe he was.
Maybe he was. But look, veteran. But I mean, he was getting cooked in that game. He's just like, at some point, the Kevin De Bruyne too old, thing.
Atiba Hutchinson was the captain.
Yeah, and he just had a bad game. I thought he had a good game against Belgium, but this
Captain Abuelo. Eustaquio.
yeah.
Who I love. I think
He's
he's
great
really
too.
great. I believe he's at Porto, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. He's at Porto. He had a lower rating than Atiba Hutchinson. But if I look at the team of Canada, and I think whose stock rose, everyone kind of knew what you were getting with Alphonso Davies, but I do think he showed you he has other layers to his game that Bayern Munich doesn't really need him for.
Sure.
I think he played midfield very well. I think he showed he's good in front of goal. It's kind of opening the door for him to be maybe used wherever the hell they want him to.
Yeah.
He's that good. Eustaquio, obviously great. But I think Tejan Buchanan will be getting offers from larger clubs in Bruges, bro.
Yeah.
He
was great.
He looked good in both games. He, first of all, doesn't take shit from anybody. Bit of a goon. just doesn't care, will get back in your face. All the things you don't associate with Canada whatsoever, bro. It's almost like he hates maple syrup. You know what I mean?
We should ask him and
He's
confirm.
like, yo, hockey's too cold, bro. I don't fuck with it, bro. He's just doing arm bars. There's something about him where I think he proved himself to be the type of player that a lot of clubs are maybe looking for in January.
I completely agree with you.
Nice.
He was a baller at the Revs, and he's doing great at the World Cup.
It's
It's
a
a shame.
to show there's a lot of value in MLS.
Yeah, it's a shame Canada at least didn't get a point because obviously they're already.
They could in the last game.
I'm just saying they couldn't get a point in that game, so now they are eliminated entirely. So we'll see what that last game is. Even
Costa Rica was able to win a game, bro.
We got to talk about that. Costa Rica get 1-0 against Japan.
It's called a segue, Christian.
So
is Japan good or not, man? What happened, yo?
Yeah, they beat Germany and then
they lose to Costa Rica.
It makes no sense. Hey, look, Costa Rica, the players were basically saying like that game against Spain, that wasn't us. That was another man. That was
man. We was all off, bro.
We had our bad day at the office.
Yeah. Hey, man, when I said when I was drunk, bro, that ain't me.
Okay.
You know I can't drink that dark liquor, bro.
and to get that win against Japan.
And let me be clear. They didn't look good.
They did not. No, I mean, look, but it's
old school soccer.
Great. Heart.
Bro.
All right. Pure CONCACAF.
Yo, that was basically rugby.
It
was a rough one.
They had to do everything they can to.
I mean, look, sometimes you got to win ugly.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes you got to marry ugly. Shouts to my wife. I'm the ugly one.
I just want to clarify.
She's gorgeous.
Who are you talking about? Jesus.
Have any of you seen her? You'd know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Also, you can see me. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, everybody. Let's all get in agreement. Alexis is disgusting.
Yeah. Please.
His wife is a saint.
Yeah. Harry, back me up. Jesus. Tell me I'm ugly, Harry.
The goal that Costa Rica got was that soft curler that just went over and the keeper just got fingertips on it but couldn't keep it out.
It looked like it was in the air for all of 75 seconds.
I'm like, yo, why is this goal in 240 frames per second?
Bro, what's the old cartoon where they throw like the baseball and the guy swinging back?
Right.
And what it looked like. I'm like, at some point, you can go make a cup of coffee and come back and stop this thing, bro.
It was pretty remarkable. So, but they held on, man. They had to do everything. Like, especially Francisco Calvo, who is the butt of every joke. I mean, he's like not the best of defenders, had one of the best games of his career.
Well, we have seen Francisco Calvo now over these last two matches. He went from being one of the worst players I've ever seen in a World Cup to changing everything and being completely different. This is what he did in MLS.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
And Kendall Waston. Remember Kendall Waston?
Of course, I remember
Vancouver Whitecaps days. He played, I think he's at Saprissa now in Costa Rica. Another great game. It's nice to see the OGs, the MLS OGs.
They still got it.
They still very much got it.
Who shows up to the third game?
Exactly. So, but they do have a chance.
That was a question. You don't have to answer.
Okay.
We just move on.
Spain, Germany. Also in Group E. A great game. I went to the Total Soccer Show watch party.
How was it?
At Littlefield. It was great.
People are going to start to think I have a problem with Taylor.
Yeah, you
because I haven't gone to 2 events I haven't been to.
It was great hanging out with those guys.
Yeah.
We did trivia as well, which I won. Me and Val, Gully Squad. Val.
Shouts to Val Pasha.
So
Gully Squad, man.
I just want to clarify because you told me yesterday you were saying her name incorrectly. You've been saying it wrong the entire
time. What's her name?
It's Val Pascal.
Pascal,
not Paschal.
Right, I got an idea. Take the H out.
The H just throws you off.
Yeah. Why would you take the H out? I don't know where your family came from, bro, but they ain't there no more. Take the H out.
But Val and I, we were a team in the World Cup trivia, and we won. Even though she answered about 95% of the questions. She is a absolute World Cup guru.
You told me this. You were like, there's no way we'll know. And she's answering the question.
Like, how do you remember?
Yeah.
You were 6 years old when that game happened.
What, you got an earpiece in? What are you cheating, bro?
I was very impressed. I mean, it's always wild to be in a room room of soccer nerds, and sometimes I think I'm a soccer nerd, but then when I'm in
You're just a nerd.
I'm a TSS soccer, in the room with TSS folks, I'm like, nah, I'm not even close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those moments where I realize, like, oh, this is why most of these people aren't fans of ours, because they know about the game.
Yeah, we're not bringing up enough XGs.
Meanwhile, we did not clarify what Kevin De Bruyne's age is.
Who knows? Who cares? He's 45. It's all good. But
68.
Spain, Germany, great game, 1-0. You thought Spain might do the same thing that they did to Costa Rica. They very much did not.
No.
Even though both countries had very much opportunities to just seal the game away.
Bro, Alvaro Morata scored.
Yeah. Dude,
Germany should be disqualified.
everybody there was a guy that was next to me. Shout out to Domingo, this guy from Spain. But he was like, they're putting Alvaro Morata. That's it. Might as well. Let's just leave the World Cup. What a waste. And like 3 minutes later, he scores. And I'm like, you see what happened? This handsome Spaniard did it again.
Gorgeous dude.
Just not not consistent with Alvaro Morata, but he showed up. It was a great goal too, outside of the boot, and just like top shelf. Very, very impressive. But I think the biggest concern out of that game for me was Leroy Sané not shooting that ball in late in the second half.
Also, can we talk about the slick back, the man bun?
Yeah.
With a little bit of soul patch, a little bit of chin hair.
Yeah, Leroy. I mean, that's what he's going with.
Bro, I love it. It looks like he wears silk shirts unbuttoned to the belly button.
Okay.
I like it.
Just always watching Scarface.
Yeah. Hello. He does like a really bad Gunta.
I couldn't believe he didn't shoot that ball. Like it made no sense. Across it or something.
Do something with it.
Yeah,
he is missing that killer edge, but it seemed like he turned it on after that.
It didn't matter.
No, but there's something about him where I'm like, oh, I feel like he's realized you need to go to a different gear now.
I mean, look, I think in Bundesliga when he has
all the time in the world,
more time. Yeah, he's like the level of competition is not the same. But you just one of those times where it's like, bro, you made the wrong decision, and it's a shame because the ball goes just goes out. And it's like, you didn't even get a chance on goal. It made no sense. But
big moment for Germany, but they're in last place in their group with 1 point.
Yeah, it's bad.
What's it, Fulkrug? The guy who
scored the goal, yeah.
Yeah.
Great goal, too.
Fulkrug looks like he does construction on the weekends, bro.
He plays in...
he used to play in second.
Yeah.
But now I believe he's in... one Bundesliga.
But yeah, they were talking about him. But yeah, I thought Unai Simon, the goalkeeper for Spain, even though Graham from TSS was saying like he's just not a good player and he probably shouldn't be the starting goalkeeper. But he had a pretty good game. He had to make a couple really, really big stops. But this felt like one of those games where both teams are probably disappointed to not get the 3 points because they each very much had opportunities to do exactly that.
He plays for Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen, yes. Yeah, I mean, he'll be in two Bundesliga real soon.
First of all, you're going back. You're going to see your old friends there.
Okay.
Although maybe because of this, he gets a shot.
Okay. All right. We got to talk about from Saturday, November 26th, Argentina, Mexico. Because...
This certainly didn't cause any issues. There's no juiced-up boxers threatening any soccer players' lives.
Alvarez. Oh, I didn't think Canelo Alvarez was going to get involved.
I did not think I would be talking about this man right now. Remember the commercial with him and Sylvester Stallone where he's like, meat, you cook meat. You remember this?
Wait, what?
You remember this? They had a commercial together where
Canelo and Rocky?
Yeah.
Or Sylvester Stallone or whatever?
Stallone.
I don't know if he was playing Rocky.
The character Rocky was hologrammed in. He was like, the meat. You know, he does like a fit. It's a very, I think he's wearing a fedora in the commercial.
Okay. I believe it. But Canelo Alvarez, if you don't know this story, he was...
There's a video of in the locker room of Messi celebrating with the rest of the players. And apparently he swapped shirts with some Mexican player. And it's on the floor in front of him where all of his stuff is.
Correct.
There's other things there. He didn't disrespectfully... It's not the Mexican flag. You can put a shirt on the floor.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see it here.
But you don't see the video here.
the video. But I mean, it's not much. The video is not much.
But it's important, I think, because you get to see Messi move it, like kick his feet up.
Yes, and
he obviously looks like he's going wee.
He's singing. They're singing in the locker room. They're celebrating their victory, and he gently kicks away.
He
lifts his foot. He lifts his foot to get his boot off.
Yeah,
and slightly
he's doing the heel toe foot.
Yes,
shoe
and
remover.
slightly nudges the Mexican jersey away.
Now Canelo, who again is eating steak with a bumbling Sylvester Stallone, said, "Did you see Messi cleaning the floor with the Mexico shirt?"
Yeah.
He said some other disrespectful stuff, and he says, "I hope he better hope to God I don't see him in the street." Which is, are you in Qatar? You need to tell people if you're going to threaten the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, if you're watching, you're seeing the tweet, and Canelo Alvarez says, "Que le pida a Dios que no me lo encuentre." You're saying that God, you
better pray to God
pray to God that I don't find you. And
which makes it seem like you're looking for.
Who says this to Lionel Messi?
Bro.
He is, to a lot of people, he is Dios. He is God.
Yeah.
So
you're saying he better tell himself. He better pray to himself.
So this is a very bold statement.
Yeah, Max Brados was like, "This is really unprofessional of Canelo to threaten a player." And I'm like, I don't see it as unprofessional. I see it as, bro, you're being a maniac right now.
I think that's very fair to say. I can't find the video of it, but it is.
The memes are already great.
Okay, here it is.
Here's the video.
Here's
and
the
look,
video.
you see it right there.
Oh, wait, no.
What'd you do?
It changed. The video cut. Sorry, all right. Because so it's going to play. I can't play a video of the game, obviously. But
there he is. He's taking his shoe off.
Hold on. All right. So let's see if I can do this without getting in trouble. But yeah, it'll be very, very quick.
You see him on the floor. He's the one bent over right now.
Okay.
A lot of the players are standing on the benches. He's not. There's a pile of clothes in front of everyone's locker, essentially.
That's it.
Oh, they actually
they cut it when whatever. But,
do it,
but that, as much as you just saw, that's all it was. He slightly nudged the Mexico shirt a couple inches.
Canelo made it seem like he pulled his pants down and took a shit on it.
I was like, wow, the sensitivity. You can't.
While throwing away him and Sylvester Stallone's steak, which is wild disrespect.
The problem is when a boxer is overly sensitive, it's the consequences could be quite dire.
Yeah, imagine if you were just talking and Mike Tyson goes, "What'd you say?" You're done. You're done, bro.
I'm like, whatever you think I said, I did not say it. I promise.
In fact, I know you're going to remove my larynx, so I'm not going to say anything again. But before you do, I want you to know, I didn't say it.
So, so pretty wild decision on his part. A weird wrinkle in this big matchup that I did not expect.
But also, this might ruin Messi's away days at LA Galaxy and LAFC when he's playing for Inter Miami.
I'm going to assume that most reasonable people, Mexican or not, are like, "Yo, Canelo."
You know we're talking about soccer fans, right?
I think Mexico fans are going to be like, "All right, Canelo, I don't think I'm rocking with you on this one."
Look, I'm willing to get upset, but this feels a little off.
Because it is Messi, by the way.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Could you please stop looking for Messi?
Messi, gets what turned out to be the game-winning goal. Just
moment of brilliance,
unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen at some point during the World Cup.
I didn't think so.
Really, I very much did. I mean,
I thought it would just capitulate further.
I thought Argentina might struggle to, even just get out of the group, but especially after that first game. But Messi was gonna do. He always does it at some point. The guy, he's not worried about running back box to box. He's like, "Yo, just give me the rock, and I'm gonna be
right here when y'all get back with it.
I'm gonna do what I do." And he did exactly what he does. Just
Hey, Otamendi, stop him, will you? And then give me the ball.
Just the ball got to him, and just like that low-driven shot that,
but perfectly placed. With a good amount of force.
But then Enzo Fernandez, he's a little boy,
little baby boy.
I thought it was a great goal, but this a little bit felt like Memo Ochoa was cheating to the near post a little bit.
I think you see where his height came into play here. I think Memo Ochoa is not the
Memo Ochoa
tallest
is,
guy.
I rode an elevator next to Memo Ochoa. Memo Ochoa is fairly tall. He's taller than me. He's probably about 6'2", 6'3".
I'm looking it up right now. Player profile, 6'1".
He's taller than me. So whatever.
Okay, so you've lied about your height. Wow. Is
He's
that
like-
you got over
so
the whole
maybe
the
an age.
Santa thing, dude?
Maybe with cleats or something like that.
It's probably the hair. He has
Maybe
the curly
maybe the hair. Maybe the hair. But I didn't I saw.
He's not the biggest keeper, and he
and I
was
saw-
cheating the one side.
We saw Tim Howard recently. Tim Howard's also not very tall.
He's
probably-
like 6'2", 6'3".
okay, an inch over Memo.
Also
all
got
of a sudden,
longer hands, longer arms. What a weird human
wow.
being.
you compared both. You measured both.
Yeah. Look, they both have been inside me, and I can tell you.
Okay, so
Also, Ochoa's 37 years old.
yeah, he's up there.
He's
up
on
there.
that, he's on the cusp of maybe having lost a step.
Maybe, but
Remember he got caught a while back taking steroids or HGH?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, it happened in the Mexican league, and he was supposedly going to be banned for like a game and a half. You know, like, Mexican league's like, dude, take a break, huh? Do me a favor, lap. You got a lap. You got to take a lap.
But the goal, the Enzo Fernandez goal, it felt a little bit like he got Enzo did a little bit of like a body feint and like a step over, and
it looked like he was trying to impress Messi.
Well, he got the defender to move, but then Ochoa looked like he moved as well. And then when he took that shot, because the shot wasn't it wasn't
It didn't curl around.
it didn't go around, and it wasn't it didn't hit the corner or the like upper 90 type
No,
thing.
but it got completely past Ochoa.
But and it was just because he took that slight step because he fell
also,
for
his
it.
body weight was going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and he got. So that was that one goal. I'm like, he probably should have stopped that one. But regardless, and we can take
21 years old though, plays for Benfica. His idol Lionel Messi. He impressed them. Imagine you do something that causes Lionel Messi to hug you afterwards and yell "Vamos." You feel pretty good about yourself. You know what I mean?
But we've spoken to. I don't want to say any names, but we've spoken to Argentinian players that are not necessarily fans of the Argentinian national team, but they are fans of Messi. They're like, oh, I want them to win for Messi, not for the national team. And that just speaks to the frustration with the Argentinian Federation has had a lot of issues. Remember when Messi retired from the national team?
Yes.
So they have issues with the federation, but some players kind of have that.
When we're done, will you tell me who you're talking about?
I
'Cause
was. So Mexico. The big problem. Look, we had Wiso and Amelia on the show last week on Monday, and we were trying to figure out like what can we expect from the Mexican national team. I said they wouldn't win one game. I thought they would lose actually every game. They drew their first one, but they can't. I mean, it's really bad. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
I mean, you could watch that. You could look at this and be like, this isn't. Tata Martino's not helping, but this isn't his fault. This is a real patchwork unit. It doesn't feel unified in any way, shape, or form.
Maybe, yeah, I guess so. I mean, and maybe because we're more in the bubble of U.S. men's national team propaganda and like all the pieces with seeing their families and Berhalter calling everybody. So it does feel like the group is very unified. I'm just
what a weird thing to say that we're in the middle of the propaganda. Like we're a psyop for
it. Just we're in there. We see it a lot, and I don't. Maybe I'm just not in the Liga MX and Mexico national team, Twitter bubble. So I don't really know how happy or proud the players are of playing with each other, playing on the team or whatever. I'm not saying that they don't, but I just don't really see it a lot. So when you say it's like a patchwork, it feels like there's a couple players that 100% deserve to be on that team. Alexis Vega, baller, should be rocking the captain's armband. But then the midfield with Guardado and Hector Herrera, these guys, this is their fourth World Cup, bro.
Hector Herrera, great player, should be on the bench for moral support and then come in at the end of the game.
It's
to
just
lock up a win. It's a bit much.
if there's
bro.
not
Also, Guillermo Ochoa is 37. I mean, there's like,
yeah.
there's that thing of like not wanting to get beyond this era. And to some degree, Tata Martino hasn't done a great job, but he will be suffering and probably lose his job because one of the things he couldn't do is either convince the federation or move the federation to understand that you got to get past this group of players, this crop of players.
Yeah.
There's also like really good young players that should be mixed in with this. I forget the kid that we were talking about that plays in Europe, Santi, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a group of players that should be getting chances, and there's something about this team where just it seems really bad, really badly put together.
They're not gonna score a goal in this World Cup, which is
Somebody tweeted
brutal.
out. Somebody tweeted out. There's like a picture of like a bunch of dudes with like their pants sagged real low at like a pawn shop,
Right.
and he put all the CONCACAF flags. He said, "Me and my homies came through 8 games for CONCACAF and 1 goal." You know,
Yeah,
like, bro, we ain't looking good as a federation.
Oh, well, I think it was 1 win. It was because Costa Rica is the only team that has won so far.
Yeah.
A CONCACAF team has won so far. But yeah, it's bad. I mean, I expected it to be, you know, a bit of a disappointment, this World Cup for Mexico. But, you know, we have all my Mexican friends are so sad. And it's just it's not like, I'm not necessarily saying that the U.S. is like light years ahead, but we've evolved.
We've started that process. We're further along in the rebuild.
Why doesn't Mexico have a Tyler Adams type player, a young player that can defend and box to box? It's just relying on the veteran players to do this.
Sanchez, you stole him from us.
All right, yeah.
Where is he? Also, if you looked at the way the U.S. plays, and I know we didn't win, but we drew twice, and you look at the way Mexico's playing, which one would you think didn't qualify for the last World Cup? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It's just that it feels like there's it's hard to, I'm not judging Mexico on this game against Argentina. It's Argentina. It's Messi. Like, of course.
The problem is you put yourself in a position to need to win in a game against Messi.
Yeah.
In his last World Cup.
Yeah. And the game they played against Poland, right? Mexico played Poland. In
the first one?
Right? Yeah, Mexico played Poland and they drew. And it's just offensively, I mean, I say this respectfully, it's gross. There's really nothing happening. I mean,
mad respectfully.
There's not disgusting. It's like, I mean, look, the U.S. has only scored 1 goal, but they've hit the bar. There's been a couple chances. There've been a couple.
We drew with England.
Yeah, there's been a couple. Look, they did what they had to do to get the results that they needed.
Yeah.
And so I didn't expect a win there, but I don't. So they play Saudi Arabia next,
which is, look, it's no disrespect to our Saudi fans, but we got a lot of them, Harry.
What's so funny about that?
Dude, we're huge in Saudi Arabia, bro. Shouts to MBS, bro. Thanks for joining Gully's Fun. Imagine. How'd you not pick the highest? Whatchamacallit? Does Mexico finish last place below Saudi Arabia, and is that seen as an embarrassment?
Oh yeah, without a doubt it will. But look, if they don't get out of the group stage, it's an embarrassment. It should be. I think the presumption is it was going to be Argentina, Mexico, and I think that was a fair prediction for a lot of people. But I don't think they're getting out of the group. And I have a feeling they're not even going to score against Saudi Arabia. And that will be, if they leave the World Cup with no goals whatsoever. I mean, we know Tata's getting fired regardless of how far he gets into this World Cup. Even if he wins it,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
He could be lifting the trophy. They're going to give him his pink slip.
Yeah, it's going to fall off the trophy.
So they're not happy with him, and this is what he was supposed to do, and this is as long a leash as they were going to give him.
And also, his job was to institute a system, and that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
And I remember when he got hired, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna bite us in the ass in America." And I'm like, "Bro, thank God I don't make decisions for U.S. soccer."
Maybe, if Tecatito Corona doesn't get injured,
it's going to be a different result, but they're still not going to look good. Yeah, they're not one player away from looking good.
Right. I mean, look, it's just, I feel bad. It's like they're the rival or whatever, but I'm like, I feel bad for my enemy.
Yeah, but they're like the good rival.
Right. Or
You know what I mean?
respect.
Yeah. It's a friendly. It's a banter rival. You know.
So,
Granted, they throw pee at us. It's a banter rival.
it happens. Okay. Any other results? France won their game against Denmark, I think, after going down a goal, right? But they ended up winning 2-1.
And shouts to Australia.
South Australia, who also
Huge. Ellie Menjum out there back in Australia for the first time in like 10 years.
Okay.
Something crazy like that.
Oh, you looking at his
And,
passport stamps?
Bro, I'm the one who stamped it. He ain't got no passport. I made a fakey for him. Me and my Albanian homies made a fake passport for him. He gets arrested now because of this. No, but he, a good friend, and it's just nice to see like him go back and to see how far football has come as a sport, soccer as they call it as well, has come as a sport in Australia, to see how much he has been able to influence that group and that culture. And for him to be a part of that moment where the scenes outside, he said, rivaled anything he's ever seen anywhere. And that man's job is to travel for scenes. He finds scenes. And the fact that he said that that's what's happening in Australia reminds me a lot of those moments that hopefully Canada's having and the U.S. have had in the past, where it's like, oh, this might be, it could not, but it might be a big moment for that country moving forward to start to care about the sport a little more, because it's not the number one sport in their country.
Yeah.
All see rules is football, what they call football is out there. And they same thing with NFL. It's like they suffer that thing of like most Australians like soccer. That's for kids, you know.
Exactly.
So hopefully it's a big moment for them. And I know the A-League is struggling, so hopefully that puts everyone on a better position.
Congrats to Australia on their result.
Really, honestly, I'm just trying to get VIP when I fly out there.
Okay. So we have to talk about a couple other things, especially in relation to U.S. soccer. I don't know if you have been keeping up with the news as far as U.S. soccer decided, for some reason, the social media team decided to post
throw a grenade into the World Cup qualifying.
So there was
World Cup group stage.
They were showing the table for Group B, and they, for some reason,
This is a social media.
This is
art.
Yeah, so it was on Twitter and Instagram. So they post the table, but when they're showing all the flags and obviously the results and the standings, they show the Iranian flag with without the symbol of the Islamic Republic in the center
middle.
of it. There's like a small little red symbol there.
And I was like, oh, cool, we're playing Ireland, you know?
So because of that.
But here's the thing. They could have done that and then made it be like a cheeky thing and then leave it. But they didn't.
They did not.
U.S. Soccer was like, oh, we're doing that to show support for the women in the country, which is amazing. But also, what a time to do this. You could have done this weeks ago.
It also was
the only reason I'm saying this is because I'm worried that this will give the Iranian players something to sort of fight for.
You do this after the game. You don't do it before.
Yeah.
And
I want to give credit to Hurricane because we talked shit about him not wearing the
One Love. Did we? You did.
But it's on the show called The Cooligans, and that has an S at the end. So, look, we do everything together. Now, I also didn't know about Santa until I was 12 years old. See what I'm saying? Together. We do things together. He wore a Rolex with a rainbow band on it, with a rainbow face.
Yes, and it was like a $300,000 watch.
Listen.
What a show of support. It's a lovely show of support, a very expensive show of support.
Let me tell you something. Not only does he care about One Love, he cares about the fit. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I agree with it. But honestly, look, he did, and maybe some people said like, yeah, you didn't do enough. But like the fact that he did it where it would have to be kind of found and like he doesn't have to say it, it takes away him getting in trouble. It takes away his the FA from getting in trouble. It takes away from the team getting docked points or something else worse.
I like to call him an Easter egg ally. You know, you really gotta look at those. I'm like, oh, okay, he's one of us. You know,
computer term.
So okay, so. So U.S. Soccer decided to do this. This caused a little bit of a stir. The posts are now deleted. They've updated them with the correct flags. And apparently this wasn't a coordinated thing. I don't know if somebody went rogue and was like just wanted to do this, which is fine.
It feels coordinated, but I can't. Obviously, that's
no
all
idea.
allegedly because I don't know.
Look, I think I appreciate the sentiment. I don't appreciate the timing. That's kind of my feeling on it. So do this after you beat them. You don't gotta face them, and you don't put your players in a in a situation where they now they have to field this kind of either distraction or these questions, and we have to look. It sucks that this is the situation, but we have to give props to the U.S. men's national team captain Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams, bro, what a show! What a level of professionalism. How old is he? He's 21.
We need to have an age something,
or maybe Harry needs to be quick with the goddamn Google. Bang it, Harry.
Anytime we talk about any human being, you need to be looking up their age. Yeah. Okay.
What's Harry? 58? How old is Harry? We found him doing the word puzzle, the crossword puzzle outside.
So how old is Tyler Adams? Do you know? He's 23. He's a young man.
This is a man on the cusp of being a full adult, answering this like he's been in politics for a solid 30 years.
So let's play it and we'll react to it.
You support the Iranian people, but you're pronouncing our country's name wrong. Our country is named Iran, not Iran. Please, once and for all, let's get this clear. Second of all, are you okay to be representing a country that has so much discrimination against black people in its own borders? And we saw the Black Lives Matter movement over the past few years.
My apologies on the mispronunciation of your country. Yeah, that being said, there's discrimination everywhere you go. One thing that I've learned, especially from living abroad in the past years and having to fit in different cultures, is that in the U.S. we're continuing to make progress every single day. I grew up in a white family with obviously an African American heritage and background as well. So I had a little bit of different cultures, and I was very very easily able to assimilate in different cultures. So not everyone has that ease and the ability to do that, and obviously it takes longer to understand. And through education, I think it's super important. Like you just educated me now on the pronunciation of your country. So it's a process. I think as long as you see progress, that's the most important thing.
Let me give you the real translation. He said, "What you think you gonna catch me out here like that? What you think I'm stupid? You think I'm gonna give you something to tippy tappy about on your computer to make all of us look like assholes? Huh? You think I'm gonna let you shit on my country right now before a game?"
So look, and I'll say, I'll translate what the reporter asking that question, because he is not asking about. He doesn't care about
he's laying
black people's struggle.
He's laying bear traps out. He's hoping to catch them.
All he's saying is like, hey, I know you're talking about our problems in our country, but what about your country's problems?
100%.
Like, why don't you have anything to say about that?
Right.
And it's like, bro, you don't care about women or black people. That's what I'm getting when I hear that question.
Right. People are protesting in your country, hoping to get what I would consider basic freedoms, a little bit more equality. And instead, and sort of you're being defensive and saying, what about your country? Your country got problems too.
Yeah.
Hey, you're black. Black people don't have it the easiest in your country. Why don't you talk about that? And what you didn't see, if you're listening, is Tyler Adams' face going, "Oh, I see what you're doing." And he didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
Which, look, it doesn't take away the issues that black people are having in this country, that gay people are having in this country, that anyone who's a minority is having in this country. It doesn't take away from that. He didn't diminish that either. But what he basically did was, hey, man, everybody, there's problems. I've played in Europe. There's problems there. He was able to deflect without giving them that bulletin board object or headline that they wanted.
But this is the classiest part is the it's all about education. Thank you for educating me on how to say your name. Like he just applied humility. Like, no, he wasn't like, it's Iran and blah, blah, blah. He was just like, oh, okay, thank you for correcting me. Yeah. He showed compassion to the person asking the question and for Iranian people. Wasn't trying to stoke any fire. Doesn't want to add anything more to this game that already needs to be there. And the part I hate is that the Iranian players probably agree with the U.S. and the players and everything, because they've been protesting as well.
Yeah. They're the ones who took pictures covering their face.
Yeah, dude. So it's like, yo, eat a dick, bro.
Yeah. He should have said that.
It's just so, like, you can tell it's just so calculated and coordinated, and like you said, the hope into maybe he'll say something, we can make a clip out of it, get everybody riled up in Iran, and then it becomes all of a sudden a political issue. The Iranian government or something, they've been petitioning to FIFA to get the U.S. kicked out of the World Cup. Get out of here, bro.
Before the game. Which I love that. It's like, hey, man, things aren't good over there. And it's like, I think we're both going to go down here. You know what I mean? One bank robber can't be like, that guy's robbing a bank while you got a gun and a balaclava inside the bank. You know what I mean?
So frustrating stuff. But again, props to Tyler Adams, man. And we've...
he just dipped out of it, man. And that's honestly, in this situation, this could have been turned into multiple headlines and a bunch of really bad situations. And honestly, dude, while disrespectful of the reporter, but he saw what you were doing and he dipped out of it. And you know, Tyler Adams, man, man of the press conference. I don't know if they do that. I know they do man of the match, but that's man of the press conference. Right
you get
there,
a small Budweiser can.
Yeah. You get a Bud Light Lime.
Wow, he did it again.
Damn.
But after I watched this, I'm like, look, he's not the oldest player on the team. He's 23, as Harry has said. So you know, don't put it on us. Harry said that.
Harry's
23 years old.
Harry doing his job. We can't confirm.
But that you know, after watching this press conference, I'm like, this young man is the captain of the U.S. national team. You know what I mean?
If there was any question as to whether he could be the captain, he showed it on the pitch, now off the pitch.
Without a doubt, bro. I'm just like, I'm hoping he has a very long career, but it's what you do, who gets the captain's armband is not just what you do on the pitch. And he is wise beyond his years.
I wouldn't have handled it this way.
I don't think I would have either.
Nah, I would have yelled some shit like, miss me with this shit. Next question.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
Yo, somebody get this fool out of here.
Yeah. I'm going to smack the Iran out you, bro. Say it wrong again. I would have fucked up.
Yeah.
Because you put me in a position.
And then we lose in the World Cup. Yeah. It's not good.
You're backing me into a corner. Yeah.
So look, props to Tyler Adams, man. We can't say it enough. This was really, it's one of those moments where, even being a fan of U.S. men's national team, I think the journalist has a point, right? It's a lot of people have been sort of making these jokes recently, watching the U.S. men at the World Cup, where there's like a popular like trend going on TikTok, especially, where people are basically saying like, sometimes I hate this country, I can't stand this place, and then they go to a picture of the U.S. men's national team, and it's like red, white, and blue, motherfucker.
Yeah.
These colors don't run, blah blah blah.
Yeah. And there's one where a girl's like, it's just sometimes it's so difficult being a woman in this country, and then it cuts to that, and she's running back and forth with a flag.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is supporting U.S. soccer
is not saying you're okay with everything that's happening in the country.
It is that. It's difficult. And even U.S. soccer players represent different countries all over the world. They have different backgrounds. It's the fact that the country is so...
There's been Iranian players that have played for the U.S.
Right. It's just, look, it's complicated, and we all kind of figure it out on our own. But and I like Tyler's point about, like, as long as there's progress, that it does feel like we are moving forward. And it does... Look, it may not be going at the pace that we all want, but there is acknowledging that things are slightly better is okay as well.
Yeah, and also acknowledging that there is a problem is showing that there is progress, because a lot of these things weren't considered problems in the past. And also, this question is disrespectful to the Iranian players as well, who are sitting there fighting for basic rights in their country and trying to find a way to protest without getting arrested and murdered. Yeah. And you're asking questions of other people as if they're not.
But it's weird that like the flag not looking exactly the way it's. I mean, I'm sure it
was on purpose, Christian.
It was on purpose, but it's just like,
if I called you Christian Blanco, you'd be like, all right, I know it's one letter, but it feels disrespectful.
But it's just like that triggered, like, but what about black people? And you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's very performative.
What is it? Whatisms?
Whataboutisms.
Whataboutisms.
All right, but so the drama in U.S. soccer is not over.
It continues.
Because there's a last story we'll talk about. But your boy Eric Winalda is in the news again.
Has never done anything that shocks people.
But Eric Winalda, obviously legendary U.S. soccer player. First player,
Bit of a lightning rod, bit of a catalyst.
first player to ever score in Major League Soccer.
Yes.
You remember that as well. So an OG, legend of the game. And he was on this was a Los Angeles Times Twitter Spaces, and
which still shock people use.
so he said this, and I just want to play it, and we'll see how we feel about it. Oh,
So far, I don't agree.
Let's see if this goes.
The lineup right now, with Gio Reyna out of the lineup right now, which has been a massive controversy within the team. Even his own, teammates are wanting him on the field, and it seems to be some internal strife with the manager, Greg Berhalter. I don't know how much I should comment on that, but I have been trying to console Gio's father, Claudio, for the last couple of hours, last couple of days with everything going on. He was fit to play. Berhalter did lie to the media and say that it was an injury, asked the player to kind of go along with that story, which caused a rift between the two of them, and now he's on the bench, which is really unfortunate. This situation should have been handled very differently.
Do you believe Eric Ronaldo?
Man, it's difficult for me to think that somebody of such prominence and everybody, a lot of Twitter followers, people know that this would get out. It's a little difficult for me to believe that he's just straight up lying.
I don't think he's lying, but could he be making,
exaggerating?
Could he be making 100 out of 10? You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
It feels like it because he kept tightening. Well, I don't know how much I should really talk about it. You already said everyone's name.
Yeah, you're
and then, you know what I mean? You literally have already named names. And then he goes, I've been consoling him for the last couple hours. Last couple of days, actually.
Couple years.
I'm way more important in this situation.
I got him on FaceTime right now. He is crying into his phone.
He can't do it without me. It's been rumored that there was no riff, and Gio Reyna did come out and say, I'm 100%. I've been ready to go.
Yeah, and
which goes against what Berhalter did say. So I'm sure there's something there. But how much do we really believe that Claudio Reyna, who seems like a fairly conservative dude in the sense of he's not like blabbering to a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's his son, right?
He's a VP of clubs or general manager of clubs.
Austin FC.
Austin FC, NYCFC before that, director of football, if I'm not mistaken, for both.
He was also general manager.
General manager.
Yeah.
He's a fairly calculated guy. For him to be crying on the shoulder of Eric Wilna, I don't know their friendship, but it seems like they wouldn't even get along. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's messed up. I don't know. I mean, even if it's true,
it feels like you've made it worse by talking about it.
You can't say it, man. I mean, it
actually feels like that Iranian journalist might be a huge fan of Eric Ronaldo. You get what I'm saying?
I just think it's bro. You played at World Cups. You played for U.S. Soccer. You know that this is going to cause an actual problem if you say this publicly. Why?
Also, wasn't it his wife?
Bro, you want to what? Yeah, it's like you want to bring up this old stuff.
Yo, it was his wife that slept with another player. You didn't talk like this when that happened.
Well, he did say that on ESPN at another. I think he was doing punditry for at a World Cup or something like that. So he did say it on the air, and it was.
What I'm saying is, at the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't say it immediately.
Yeah.
He didn't say it when it was actually happening.
Right.
He did reveal it when.
And to his credit, he told the coach, you got to keep him in.
Right. Yeah. So look up this story. It's a ridiculous story, right?
Yeah. He's like, trust me, I've heard some good stories. The kid's a beast. The kid can't stop scoring, even if it's with my wife.
We're talking about A-list, drama, Kardashian style.
Bro, this is
if anybody's young and does not know this story, just look up Eric Ronaldo, wife, John Harks.
It's wilder than you think.
It's wild. And it's like, we're not, spilling any tea. It's already been out there. But for him to do this is,
It's making it about him. Which is why I'm sitting here saying, like, all right, maybe this is like a promotional thing to get your name back out
but
there.
this is why I get mad, because
Tell me why you get mad, Christian.
this is what grinds my gears. I get mad because...
Hold on. Tell us why you get mad.
because this kind of buffoonery, I said it.
Oh.
This kind of like silliness is what you would expect from people like us.
Yes.
The clowns of the soccer world.
If I told you I was consoling Gio Reyna's dad, you'd be like, no, you ain't. And then we could have a little giggle about it. But when you say it, we have to now sit here and go, wait a minute. Is Claudio Reyna, who's in Qatar, whose son is on the team, so distraught that he has reached out to Eric Wijnaldum, who's
Yeah.
not there?
Right. No. Ronaldo's not there in
No,
Qatar,
in
but
Qatar.
Claudio is.
Yes, I just said that.
Yeah. So no, it's just look.
It very well could be happening, but also you don't need to say this much. Also, we were already talking about this weird situation.
Yeah, like why wasn't Gio? Gio didn't play in the
Yeah,
game against
yeah.
Wales. He only got a few minutes against England. So it is already a concern. But to say this, to say maybe he could be like, I don't know why Greg is not putting him in or stuff like that. Or I don't agree with Greg not putting him in. But to be like, yo, I spoke to his dad. His dad is furious.
Yo, you think I'm mad? His dad.
Bro, there's no way Claudio Reyna's like, yo, thank you for speaking on my behalf.
Right.
There's no way he's
Canelo didn't even say that about Messi. He was actually reading dialogue from what Claudio Reyna was saying about Berhalter, bro. It's wild out there.
So, pretty absurd.
Obviously, I'm joking. Claudio, if you're watching.
I hope Gio maybe even starts against Iran or gets at least a lot of minutes.
Gio Reyna.
We need to see him.
The way the English fans were talking about, like, where's Phil Foden? Why did Phil Foden start? That's the way America was talking about Gio Reyna.
Right.
Gio Reyna deserves to be starting on this team, and I would love to see him play in Saudi Arabia, against Saudi Arabia, I should say. I would love to see him play. But you're not helping the situation, Eric. You know? You got to chill, bro.
Yeah, dude. So poor move on his behalf. I don't know. I hope
Unless he's telling the absolute truth, then good on you, man.
no, but even if he is telling the truth, it's too personal.
Yeah.
It's you don't say it. There's nothing good that comes from it.
Again, Kevin De Bruyne changed everything, bro.
It's also, bro, Eric Ronaldo's like 50, bro.
Yeah.
These are kids. You're talking about kids, and they're like, this is their first World Cup. They're trying to
Yeah.
figure it out. They're trying to deal with
You
it
ain't making it easier.
with less distraction. They have obviously so much
You
going
bringing
on.
his dad into it.
You bring his
know what I
dad.
mean?
It's corny, bro. And
Yeah.
look, we've met Eric.
We
and
like Eric.
He's been nice to us and whatever, but this is absurd.
Yeah. There's a lot.
It's absurd. Okay, well,
It's very much like, it's like, how do I make this about me right now? You know what I mean? And we need a little less you, Eric.
okay. We got a lot going on right now.
Yeah. In fact, after December 18th, buddy, throw any grenade you want,
Go
my
on,
guy.
write your tell-all
Yeah.
novel.
Do
dog.
it on our show, sit right here, and you can spit whatever you want, bruh.
Okay.
But right now, let the kids play, man. Let them have their moment.
All right, everybody, thank you again for joining us. This was a packed episode.
There's a lot. We went long.
A lot to discuss, though.
Harry, what do you think, buddy? Oh,
Okay.
he said Alexis is the greatest human being he's ever met.
All right, we're 1 for 1 with Harry. So thank you so much. So
And thank you once again to Metalark for getting us all this equipment, for putting batteries in a Harry and bringing them down here. This is amazing. Hopefully you guys like all like the new camera angles and everything.
Yeah, so we're doing the World Cup grade is happening, bro.
You know what? I'm actually starting to buy into it, bro. I'm starting to like it.
20 people.
World
over.
Cup grade, bro. I like it.
Let's go. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Obviously,
We didn't even talk about Juventus.
we did not. We'll talk about tomorrow.
Everybody quit. We'll know more tomorrow.
We'll know more tomorrow. So obviously, we'll talk tomorrow. I'm hoping.
You know what I like though? Everyone on the board, everyone quit. Everyone, president, everyone, CEO. And you know what Juventus said? We're refreshing. Yeah, you think so?
They're doing a World Cup grade as
That's
well.
like your wife leaves you and takes everything, and you're like, I'm redecorating. Yeah, I think you are, dude. You're sleeping on a cot, my G.
So tomorrow, hopefully we'll be back here. Excited that the U.S. have moved on into the
Yes.
knockout stages.
Hey, if you're in New York and you want to come hang out and watch the game with us, let us know.
No, do not do that.
We might not let you, but let us know.
We do not have enough space for that. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. World Cup Daily, the Cooligans. Thank you so much. Peace, everybody.
Love you guys.